Minions! Tonight, I'm going to steal the moon! But before I'm going to steal the moon, my fellow minions, YouTuber slash movie reviewer, aka my favorite one on the internet, Sean PVS 121 is going to review all of my Despicable Me movies, which he is going to re-review of all of my movies, leading up to my highly anticipated Despicable Me 4 is coming real soon. I not wait for that movie to come out. So yeah, I hope you enjoy of all of his Despicable Me movie reviews leading up to that movie. So yeah, I hope you're really gonna love Sean PVS 101's movie review of one of the greatest movies I ever created, Despicable Me. So yeah, Sean PVS 101, enjoy your movie review and get on with your review, Sean. I'm counting on you.
Thank you very much for the wonderful message video, Mr. Gru. Hello, superheroes and supervillains. It's your friend Sean PVS 101. Welcome back to a brand new video on my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very well recently. And today's brand new video I'm going to make on my YouTube channel, I'm going to do a movie review of all the Despicable Me movies on my YouTube channel leading up to my highly anticipated Despicable Me 4, which I am so excited to see that movie. So yeah, today I'm going to do a re-review of all the Despicable Me movies on my YouTube channel. Yep, I'm going to do a re-review of all the movies on my YouTube channel leading up to the anticipated 4th movie because I rather want to do a re-review of all the Despicable Me movies because unfortunately I delete all the original reviews of the movies because of my old reviews of those kind of did not age well. I had to delete them all, unfortunately. But this one, I'm going to do a re-review of all the Despicable Me movies leading up to the 4th film. Starting to do a movie review on the one that started it all. Today's brand new movie review, I'm going to review on my YouTube channel leading up to Despicable Me 4. I'm going to do a movie review on the one that started it all. And today's brand new movie review I'm going to review is none other than Despicable Me. Yep, I'm going to do a movie review, the one that started it all, Despicable Me. And this movie is directed by Peter Cawthon and Chris Randolph. And this movie was released in the year 2010 on July 9th, over 14 years ago, which I can't believe that movie is turning 14 years old while this movie was released in the year 2010. Where the time has come. Anyways, this movie was released in the year 2010, the exact same year as Toy Story 3, How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek Forever After, Tangled, and even came out the exact same year as another animated supervillain movie that turned good at the end, Megamind. Yep, both Despicable Me and Megamind both came out in the year 2010. Where has time has come by. And this movie stars some amazing cast in this movie, like Steve Carell as Gru, Jason Segel as Vector, Russell Brand as Dr. Nefario, Miranda Cosgrove as Margot, Julie Andrews as Gru's mom, and Will Arnett as Mr. Perkins, Krista Wiig as Mrs. Hattie, and more in this amazing movie. And so the plot for Despicable Me, the story of the movie, is about the world's greatest supervillain of all time, Phineas Gru, voiced by the talented actor Steve Carell. We focus on the main character Gru, who is the world's greatest supervillain of all time. He lives in this colorful suburban neighborhood. He got his own goth-looking house because He is so evil and despicable. He has this little dog like monster Kyle. He lives with his evil scientist partner Dr. Defario, and don't forget his evil, goofy, iconic yellow minions we know them and love today. While Gru is really loving himself, becoming the world's greatest supervillain of all time, but then suddenly he got a message video from Dr. Nefario, because Dr. Nefario told Gru about the news about some villain that stole the pyramid in the beginning of the movie. Then Gru goes to his evil lair to tell his yellow minions about the news about the villain that stole the pyramid, but he's not feeling upset, but he got his own evil plan to want to become the world's greatest supervillain of the year, trying to steal the
moon!
Sorry about that little reference, but Walgrew wants to become the world's greatest supervillain of all time, trying to steal the moon, but he did not have any bit money to build the rocket first. But he had to show his plan why he wants to build the rocket, show this plan to the Bank of Evil in the first place. But then Gru was on this mission to go ahead to steal the shrink ray first, but unfortunately got stolen by the main villain of the movie, Vector, voiced by Jason Segel, while Vector stole the shrink ray back from Gru. But then Gru has a plan to how to break into his lair, but then he adopted 3 orphan girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. Well, Margot, Edith, and Agnes got adopted by Gru, but then Gru has to become a father figure to the 3 orphan girls because the girls needs a dad, because Gru is trying to become a dad throughout the movie, trying to be a heartwarming figure to the girls, while Gru trying to steal the moon, become his villain mode. So now it's up with the girls trying to have a nice heartwarming moments between Gru, while Gru is trying to be a good dad to the girls, and while trying to stop Vector. And that's the plot for this movie. So after I watch Despicable Me 1 with my mom and my sister leading up to the 4th movie. So after I watched the first Despicable Me movie right now, what do you think about the movie overall after I watch this movie? I gotta say for this movie, I freaking adore this movie. I absolutely love and adore Despicable Me, because this movie is a phenomenal icon masterpiece. I fell in love with this movie. The story is very original and creative. The characters are so lovable. I freaking love all the characters, especially Steve Carell as Fenolius Gru. Easily the best character of the whole movie series, and my favorite character of the whole franchise, hands down. The 3 orphan girls are so adorable and lovable, especially Agnes. I love the yellow minions. I don't care what everyone say. The minions are still funny to this day. And also the main villain, Vector, stole the show. I freaking love the villain Vector. He is so lovable and a very funny and threatening villain. So yeah, I love all the characters, and even the animation still holds up to this day, because it's Illumination's first movie, but I think the animation still holds up to this day. And even the soundtrack was still phenomenal. I absolutely adore Despicable Me's soundtrack. It's easily a banger to listen. From the songs from Pharrell Williams, and even the movie score of the actual film was so amazingly well. I love the soundtrack of Despicable Me. It is still a banger soundtrack in my opinion. So yeah, I absolutely adore the first Despicable Me movie. It is easily a certified classic in my opinion, because I remember seeing this movie when I was 8 years old. I did not see the first one in theaters, unfortunately, but I rather saw it at home, like during Christmas of 2010. I think I remember seeing it at a local beach house in Florida. I remember seeing that movie. I was 8 years old. I was having so much fun watching this movie, and I got that movie on DVD months later in 2011. I fell in love with this movie. The story, the characters, all the characters are iconic and lovable, especially Gru, Vector, and the three orphan girls, and the minions are lovable as heck. The animation stills hold up to this day, and even the soundtrack was phenomenal. I love everything about Despicable Me because I'm now becoming a major fan of the movies. Like, I got all of the merchandise. I have some of the posters right here behind me. And also, I have all my Despicable Me action figures and toys. Like, I have all my minions aside, and also even I have a lot of my Gru merchandise. Yes, I have so much Gru merchandise, so much because I have some action figures of the character, and even I have his iconic freeze ray. Yep, one of the best weapons of the Despicable franchise. It has to be his iconic freeze ray. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I am just a major fan of the Despicable Me franchise because I just cannot get enough with these characters because I absolutely fell in love with the movie series because I just have so much fun memories watching the first movie back in the year 2010. I was 8 years old and 14 years ago. I have so much fun memories. But now as an adult, I turned 21. Now to watch this movie again, prepare for the fourth movie, Despicable Me 4, which I'm going to see soon one day. I cannot wait to go see that movie because now it's time to review this movie while I'm 21 years old. So yeah, let's begin my movie review of Despicable Me, shall we? For the story of the movie, I absolutely love the story of this movie. I feel like the writing of the movie felt so unique and original. I'd never seen before in an animated movie. We focus on a supervillain type character who wants to steal a planet, a famous planet, but then he has to adopted three orphan girls, trying to become a heartwarming father figure throughout the movie. I love the storytelling of the movie because it felt so creative and very original in my opinion. I love the story of Despicable Me. We focus on a supervillain character named Gru who wants to steal the moon, but then he had to adopt three girls, trying to become a heartwarming dad to him. I just fell in love with the storytelling of the first Despicable Me movie. So yeah, I absolutely love the storytelling / writing of this movie. It felt very unique, creative, and very original at the same time because I just love the story of the movie, how good the writing can be. And also for the animation, I still love the animation overall because this movie still holds up to this day in terms of animation and visuals. Sure the animation on the texture models can be a little bit questionable, but come on, it's Illumination. It's their first movie ever for the animation. I think the animation kind of still holds up to this day. I love the animation to this day. It is very visually creative, very impressive, and also very nice to look at. I love the animation overall. I love the character designs. I love the costumes on the characters, the models on the faces, for the expressions. Also, the backgrounds of the movie was very awesome and creative. I love Gru's goth-like house. I love the lair. I love the Bank of Evil, Vector's Fortress, and also many more locations are just so very beautiful and creative. Also, I love the vehicles, the gadgets, and the weapons are awesome. I love everything about the animation. give props to the animators at Illumination. Did a phenomenal job making this movie for their first feature film. So yeah, I absolutely adore the animation. It still holds up to this day. Now, let's get into the characters. I love all characters. Let's get into the characters, shall we? Let's talk about the best character, the best written character of the whole movie that carried this franchise. What character I'm going to talk about first in this part of the video is none other than the most beloved bald supervillain we know, love today, right now. And that character is none other than Steve Carell as Phenolius Gru. Steve Carell as Phenolius Gru. Wow. Just freaking wow. I absolutely adore Phenolius Gru, voiced by the talented actor Steve Carell. Gru has to be my favorite character of the whole Despicable Me franchise. Why he's the best character of the franchise? Because Steve Carell is freaking Gru. Gru is one of the greatest base movie protagonists I've seen in an animated movie. He carried this movie and throughout the franchise. I love him. I love him so much because I'm now a big fan of this character. Because why? I love his design of the character. I love the look of the character, how cool and goth he is. I love his scarf. His jacket looks awesome in black. I love his iconic Russian voice. It's so iconic. And I love his performance by Steve Carell. He is Gru to this day. And also I love his character arc in this movie so much. When he went from an evil genius supervillain and later on to become a heartwarming father figure to the 3 orphan girls he adopted. I love his character. I adore his character so much. I was so sensified for him so much because I was so rooting for him so much. So yeah, I freaking adore Steve Carell as the beloved Gru, in my opinion. He carried this movie throughout the franchise. Because Gru is gotta be the #1 favorite character of the whole Despicable Me franchise. Because Gru is gotta be one of the best anti-heroes I've seen in an animated movie. Because he is so amazingly awesome. I just became a major Gru fan of the Despicable Me franchise because I buy all his merchandise and some action figures of the character I was collecting throughout the years, and also I have his awesome iconic freeze ray. So yeah, I still have this amazing bad boy to this day. So yeah, I still adore Phenolius Gru to this day. He's easily one of the best characters of the whole Despicable Me franchise to this very day.
Aw, thank you, Sean PVS121, for being the #1 fan of me as Gru. I thank you so much, Sean PVS101. You are a #1 fan to me.
You're very welcome, Mr. Gru. And also, we have some other characters are even lovable as well. And then we have the 3 orphan girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. I love the 3 orphan girls. They're the heart and soul of these characters because they are Gru's new orphan children he adopted. I think they're the most heartwarming characters of the whole movie and the whole franchise because they're still they're still lovable, relatable, and even likable. I love Margot as a character. Margot was an amazing character. I love Margot. Miranda Cosgrove, who played this character, did a phenomenal job as this character. And also I love Edith. Edith is still funny. I love her. And also Agnes. I freaking love Agnes. Agnes has got to be the most adorable one in my opinion because of her iconic line, "He's so fluffy!" That line never gets old to this very day. Also, We have other characters I still really like a lot, like Dr. Nefario. Dr. Nefario is such a funny and hilarious character. Sure, he can be a bit of an old jerk sometimes when Gru wants to get rid of the girls, but I still like Dr. Nefario to this day. Russell Brand did a nice job voicing the character. Also, we have Gru's mom. I love Gru's mom. She's voiced by Julie Andrews, but I like Gru's mom. She's a funny character. Also, we have Russell Brand, Will Arnett as Mr. Perkins. Mr. Perkins is such a funny character. I love Mr. Perkins. Also, we have Mrs. Haggy, voiced by Kristen Wiig before she voiced Lucy in the sequels. Kristen Wiig did a nice job voicing Miss Haggy. Is this a great sales day? Really like that line. Also, we have the yellow minions. Personally, I don't find the minions not that annoying. I find the minions still funny to this day. Look, put your 4 pitchforks down, haters on the internet. I personally, I don't find the minions not that bad. I find the minions to be still funny and entertaining to this day. In the first 4 Despicable Me movies, because I was a little not crazy with the Minions spin-off films, but I think the Minions are still funny in the Despicable Me film series, because I love them so much, because it makes me smile and chuckle all the time if I see these characters. And also, I have some merchandise somewhere around here. So yeah, I still really like the Minions. They're very funny to this day. And now, let's talk about the best character of the whole movie, along with Funolius Gru. Let's talk about the main villain, Vector. Wow, just wow. Vector stole the freaking show as the main villain. Vector is such a funny and awesome character. I freaking love Vector. He has got to be the most iconic villain of the whole Despicable Me villains. He is so funny and so hilarious. I love his lines like, both Vector, that's me, I committed crime, because both direction and magnitude. Oh yeah! I still love this character to this very day. And also, I still love all the moments of this movie. I still love the opening scene when the pyramid got stolen. I love Gru's introduction to the movie as we saw Gru as a supervillain. I love the introduction to Vector, the girls. I love all the scenes of Despicable Me. They felt very awesome and very fun to watch. Also, my favorite part of the whole movie has to be the third act of the movie when Vector stole the girls from Gru, when Gru has to rescue them, trying to be a good guy at the end. I feel like the climax is so awesome to watch because we see Gru learns how to become a good dad at the end, trying to win back over the girls, but then Vector gets defeated at the moon. I love the ending to the movie when we see Gru trying to read the bedtime story to the girls. It is so heartwarming and so lovable, because one thing I love about the Despicable Me movies, especially the first one, is the heart. I love the heartwarming moments between Gru and the girls, because we see Gru went from a supervillain to a super dad at the end of the movie, because I just love his character arc in this movie, because you feel root for him as a good father figure to the girls. Overall, guys, I adore Despicable Me to this very day. It's easily a culture phenomenon classic with amazing storytelling, beautiful animation that still hold up, lovable characters, amazing soundtrack to this very day. Even the humor is still funny as heck right now. I adore the first Despicable Me movie. It is a certified classic to this day. I give Despicable Me a phenomenal 10 out of 10. It's still a brilliant masterpiece. Well, that's it for my movie review on Despicable Me. I hope you really enjoyed this re-review of the film. Well, that's it for my re-review of Despicable Me. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. Give me a like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Comment down below with this movie review. Did you like it, or not, comment down below. And who is your favorite Despicable Me character? Mine is Gru and Vector. So yeah, subscribe to my channel and get totally despicable!